Craps is one of the most fun games at the casino. But one look at the table and you can see why it's also one of the most intimidating. So let's dispel the mystery of this exciting game. At its core, craps is nothing more than betting on a pair of dice. There are only 11 possible numbers the dice can add up to, 2 through 12. So what are the rules? Let's start from the beginning. When you approach the table, you'll look for this puck. If it says on, that means a game is in progress and you should probably wait a minute. If it's off, you put your cash on the table, get your chips from the dealer, and place them on this rail right in front of you. You'll set your ante on the table. That's kind of like a fee for each hand required by the state of Oklahoma. In this case, it's $1. Now let's look at the layout of the table. Each half is a mirror image of the other, just to allow more players to gather around. See? The table is already only half as intimidating. Let's simplify it further. This whole section right here, known as the proposition bets, is a series of bets that are kind of long shots. It's really a game within a game that, while really fun, is unrelated to the main craps game. So we're gonna go ahead and skip this part. So now we're left with this. At the heart of craps is the pass line, and it works two different ways. At the beginning of the game, known as the come-out roll, a bet placed on the pass line will win if the dice total 7 or 11, and lose if the dice total 2, 3, or 12. If one of those outcomes happens, that's the game right there. You're paid, or your bet is removed, and the game starts over with the puck never leaving the off position. Now, if the dice total one of the other numbers, which are written right here, you'll enter the second part of craps. Say, for example, the shooter rolls an 8.
Oh, like this.
Right. So, an 8. Your bet remains on the pass line because you haven't won or lost, and the dealer now places the puck in the on position on the number that was just rolled, the 8. This number is known as the point. For their second roll, the shooter is now trying to hit that 8 again, and they're going to keep rolling to hit that 8, only stopping if they hit a 7 first, which causes them to lose. To put that another way, in the first roll, a total of 7 along with 11 is a good thing, while after that, the 7 is a bad thing. No other number matters here besides the number the puck is sitting on and the unlucky 7. And that's the most basic part of craps. Not that hard, right? Everything else is just different optional ways to bet. To spice things up, the don't pass is the opposite of the pass line. It's for the contrarians of the group. In the opening throw, the come-out roll, while the pass line bet wins on 7 and 11, the don't pass bet loses. And while the pass line bet loses on 2, 3, or 12, the don't pass bet wins on 2 and 3, but results, here's the tricky part, in a push on 12, meaning no money is exchanged. If there's a second roll in that game, the don't pass bet remains the opposite of the pass line bets. They're actually hoping to hit a 7 rather than the number the puck is on. Make sense? Now, the come is exactly like the pass line, except you play it after the first roll when the puck is in the on position. So just like before, you win on 7 or 11, and you lose on 2, 3, or 12. For this bet, it's irrelevant where the puck is. Opposite of that is the don't come, so it's like the don't pass, but played after the first roll. To pause for a moment, if you understand the pass line, then you understand don't pass, which is the opposite. And you understand the come, which is the same thing but delayed until after the first roll, as well as the don't come, which is the opposite and delayed until after the first roll. If that's confusing, just stick with the pass line at first. The field bet here is super easy. If one of these numbers is rolled, you win your bet. If another number comes up, you lose your bet. And the box numbers up here are the same, just a simple bet on that number. On these box numbers, the further you get from the middle, the bigger the payout because those numbers come up less often. And just so you know, these numbers have different minimum bets too. For now, just ask the dealer, hey, what's the minimum I can put on 8? They'll tell you, and they can also make change for you if needed. And now, the super unintimidating way to get started on craps. Step 1, come to the table and wait for the puck to be off. Step 2, buy your chips. Step 3, put the minimum bet listed on the table on the pass line. That's it, you're playing craps. There are some other bets that we don't need to get into today, but one more I'll mention is the odds bet, which you'll place behind the line here. This is an extra bet on whichever number the puck is on, and there's actually no house advantage on this bet, which is good for you. You can put up to 10 times your original bet there. Now let's talk about rolling the dice when it's your turn to do so. To qualify to roll, you need to have at least bet on the person right before you. You'll take 2 of the dice offered to you. Make sure the dice are visible at all times. One hand, no fist, no blowing on the dice. When you're ready, give the dice a good strong throw over all the bets. A good rule of thumb is to aim for the O and come on the opposite side of the table and make sure it bounces off the other wall. If you're not throwing, make sure your hands are out of the way. Nobody wants their lucky throw ruined by someone not paying attention. One last rule, never say the word 7 at the table. Craps players can be a superstitious bunch, and you're liable to get some dirty looks. So that's craps in a nutshell. And remember, dealers are always happy to answer any questions, especially for beginners. Because if you're not having fun, we're not doing our job right. See you at the tables.